In this video, I want to have a look at the surface area of spheres. So if we've got a sphere with a radius of r, on your formula sheet it tells us that the surface area is equal to 4 times pi times the radius squared. So let's have a look at an example of that. So here we've got a sphere with a radius of 2. So to find the surface area, the first thing you always need to do is write down your formula, which is 4 pi r squared. In ours, our radius is 2, so it's going to be 4 pi times 2 squared. And when you pop that in your calculator, it'll give about 50.3 meters squared. So that's to one decimal place. That's a whole sphere. I also want to have a look at a few examples of hemispheres. So our next example, we've got this hemisphere here that has a radius of 1.6 meters. And it tells us that it's an open hemisphere. So what that means is it's like a bowl that's open at the top. So the surface area of a whole sphere is 4 pi r squared, but because we only have half of one, we're going to pop that half in front. So we're going to have half times 4 pi times 1.6 squared. You could also simplify that half times 4 just to a 2, but it works the same if you just type the whole thing in. And that will come out to give us approximately 16.1 meters squared, correct to one decimal place. Our last example is this closed hemisphere with a radius of 15 centimeters. So being a closed hemisphere, what that means is that we're not just finding the area of this curved face, we've also got to find the area of that circle and add it on. So our surface area is going to be that half times 4 pi r squared, which will give us that curved face, but then we also need to add on pi r squared for the circle on top as well. So we can write that as half times 4 pi times 15 squared plus pi times 15 squared. Now you could, again, simplify that whole thing, since this comes out to give 2 pi r squared plus pi r squared, you could simplify the whole thing to 3 pi r squared as well. But again, typing the whole thing in still works, and when you put it in your calculator, you'll get 2,120.6 centimeters squared, correct to one decimal place. So it's a few examples of how we can find the surface area of spheres and hemispheres.